Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. Liftoff.
What is up, guys? Hunter Klein here, bringing you this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. You guys know the deal. We're back, better than ever. Life's moving. Exciting things happen. Damn near cried this week because of accomplishment. Wouldn't change a damn thing, guys. Wouldn't change a damn thing. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope this podcast finds you excited, optimistic, and moving forward. This week, guys, I have a lot of exciting things to talk about. News, not too dry, not too barren, and personal life, very, very, very exciting. To start, one of the most interesting news articles I've seen in a while. And it pretty much consisted of Pennsylvania lab monkey escapes. Now, for whatever reason, when I first read this, I just assume that a scene out of the Stranger Things. These mutant monkeys beat the shit out of all the scientists in the lab and just escaped, like Planet of the Apes, with like weapons and syringes and incredible abilities that are just like, not natural. But come to find out that this was just a truck of monkeys that seems to have crashed. And these monkeys were just purely designed for CDC, or the Center of Drug Control testing. Okay, unfortunately, these little guys are getting tested on by drugs, probably, most likely, if we had to guess, vaccinations. And it brought up an interesting idea in my head, an interesting puzzle, debacle, if you will, of the ethical stance I have on animal testing. So first off, these are just like little tiny innocent monkeys. These guys weren't like running around or doing any harm. Of course, the police were like, if you see these, don't try to approach them on your own. Obviously, they have to protect the citizens. You never know. But if you look at these monkeys, generally, they look very innocent. Now, they might be pissed off because they've been captive and tested on for a while, so they might beat the shit out of a few humans. But it seems that they've corralled them all up. And this actually happens a lot. Monkeys do get on the loose quite often, whether it be testing, whether it be from a zoo. And it seems that there were other animals that got loose. But we'll end that part of the story here. What I'm interested in talking about, again, is the ethical stance I have on the monkey testing. And I think it's easy from a very, distant point of view to say, you know what? I think we're okay. I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this because, it benefits the human species immensely. It's probably a huge reason we've been able to roll out COVID vaccinations and mandates and limit the amount of negative repercussions that can happen as a result of our vaccines because we've tested so much and it's been streamlined so much. But that's a very selfish human type of view. Okay. And I'm not the type of, save all the animals type of guy. Okay, because I believe these movements are generally just very nearsighted. Humans love things that are fluffy, furry, and act like us. Okay, so I'm on Team Human. I see the value in preserving our species and being somewhat selfish in order to save millions and millions of human lives, which probably happened as a result of this monkey testing. But on the other side, this really all changes once you interact with one of these monkeys. I can almost guarantee it. Now, I've personally never interacted with a monkey, but I've seen videos. I can imagine once you interact with one of these bad boys, you go, holy shit, this guy isn't far off from us. We are literally putting humans, dumber humans in cages and torturing them. Not torturing, testing, and I'm assuming some of them live, and some of them probably get fucked up and die. Let's be real. Now, yeah, this is just an interesting conversation, an interesting crossroads. You can be selfish to humans, but at the same time, holy shit, when is enough enough? Again, at least we're not testing on other humans like we did in the past. All right? We did some pretty gnarly experiments on babies to learn about infancy and the human brain as you develop. Okay, there's some crazy shit out there. Look it up if you will. But it's a fine line, guys. Ultimately, nature is red tooth and claw. Okay. Luckily, we're not killing these guys for food like we were hundreds of thousands of years ago. And at least now we're just, testing on them, and some of them live. But it's fucked up. Okay. So I'd rather not think about how human-like these things are, how these guys have emotions, and they're actually living beings, and we're just being selfish fucking humans trying to preserve our species at the cost of all others, like we do in so many ways. And just turn my head. I mean, we kind of have to. I mean, it really is fucked up. Humans are fucked up. The world is fucked up. Nothing's fair. Okay? Some of us get born into billion-dollar mansions and never have to worry about money in our lives. Top of the food chain, eat whatever we want, never have to starve in our life. And some of us are spawned in the world as a little monkey creature that gets put in cages and tested on. Those are both ends of the spectrum. Everything in between. You and me were probably somewhere in there. I'd say we got relatively lucky compared to some of our other living organisms' unlucky spawns. Interesting to think about, guys. I don't know what your stance is. I have difficulty empathizing with people that are on the very far side where they're like, yeah, I'd save an animal's life before I save the humans. In this realm of veganism, where we don't kill anything that's living. But again, these people are very, these people that are like, save all animal lives are very utopian. On the far end of the spectrum, there's these people that think they're just so much more intellectual than any of us. They're higher beings. They're more intelligent. They're sentient because they realize that what we don't. They realize that other things are all living. That everything is equal and we just got lucky. Guess what, buddy? It's not that simple. Okay? We need to eat. Okay? It'd be a lot easier for you to understand this if when we cut down on beef production, you were one of the people that starved because you couldn't afford cheap meat anymore. You couldn't afford cheap food. It'd be a lot easier for you to understand other people's perspectives if you were the one on your deathbed because of COVID-19 without a vaccine because we didn't have animals to test on, we didn't have humans to test on, and we had no way to push this research forward. Okay? But instead of thinking about this in a realistic way, in a holistic way, we'd rather tell ourselves that we are much more intelligent than other people. Right? And put ourselves on this high horse because we care about other life. It's not that simple, guys. And I think this just leads into, some humans are just dumb. Okay? Some humans are not only dumb, but are so naive and ignorant to what happens in the world and how systems work that they've tricked themselves into believing that they are more intelligent, more sentient, more all-knowing through perspectives like this. And it is just absolutely triggering. Okay. So is testing on monkeys okay? No. But is it necessary? I mean, it matters how many people you want to die from COVID. Let's be real. It matters how many people you want to die from other diseases that we don't have vaccines for because we weren't able to test them. Right. So, I mean, pick your poison, friend. Pick your poison, because I like sitting in my house mighty healthy knowing that, if something happens to me, chances are I'm going to have a vaccine for it because it's been tested. Right. It's just the damn truth, family. I'm actually getting triggered thinking about these people that are just so nearsighted. It's those people in society, guys, that are not only have a very shallow opinion of something, that not only have chosen to only look at a specific set of information, have cherry-picked data for a specific opinion, but it's the people that take that opinion and then they both portray it and constantly talk about it and then use it as a weapon to other people in regards to intellect. We're getting really floaty here, but it's like, dude, not only are you not more intelligent than anybody around you, you are more stupid and you're wrong. Okay? Think about the whole picture here. Okay? On a very different note, let's get off this topic. I could talk for years. The stock market seems to be going through a correction phase after the quarantine boom for a lot of your home type companies. And it was bound to happen, guys. For example, big player here is Netflix. I mean, let's be honest. We were bound to get out of this lockdown phase, and you companies were bound to stop making loads of money at some point, right? How ironic is it? I don't know if irony is the best term to use here, but it's so funny. The juxtaposition, the comparison. On one side, these companies making trillions of dollars off of Americans being locked at home, and on the other side of the world, you have like suicide rates and humans just struggling mentally and families going down because of this disease and lockdown. It's so funny. It's so odd. Again, the world is a messy place. So you know what? Fuck these companies. Okay? I'm glad to see that things are equalizing out again. And they're not riding through this Goldilocks phase where they sit at home and their bank accounts accumulate millions of dollars of wealth while other people sit at home and struggle to put food on the table. All right. But it's coming back around. Companies are tanking. I think Netflix is down like 21%. In what time frame? I have no idea. All I know is that things are kind of returning back to normal in regards to where the public is spending their money. And it's an interesting time for business. And unfortunately, I'm saying fuck these companies. Keep in mind, my company is one that would benefit immensely from lockdown, right? Personalized training that you can do by yourself at home, this type of stuff. Yeah. So it certainly negatively affects me, my income, and my business. But hey, rightfully so. Okay? Rightfully fucking so, guys. An interesting thing I ran across this week is a moment of appreciation for my life, because a friend of mine who's in college made the simple statement, what day is it? On a Friday. Okay, he said, it was a Friday evening, and he's like, what day is it? And I cannot exemplify, and I try to talk to him about this, how much of a luxury that statement is. How much of a luxury, a lifestyle which you don't know what day of the week, how much of a luxury that truly is. It says so much about your life. So much about your worries. Okay? Generally, people who keep track of the weekdays are generally keeping track so they can count down the clock to Friday. People who know what day of the week it is generally are, one, insanely busy. I don't want to say all of them hate their jobs. Either insanely busy and work on a tight schedule, or two, do not like their job, which I would say is a majority of people. Right? If you don't like your job, Friday is a beautiful day because it means you get to go home and relax and not go to work for the next 2 days. And when that pressure is removed, when you no longer have that job you hate, and the days of the week don't really matter, it's such a beautiful feeling. Again, it's this relativity, right? Maybe when you quit your job, that first week's beautiful, but then you forget about it. I'm bored right now. I have no purpose. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I'm lost. Okay, of course we get used to it. Of course it doesn't become beautiful day to day, and not every day we're waking up like, oh my God, I don't know what day it is. I'm so thankful. But it is important to appreciate, because you don't realize how much of a luxury it is until you start cleaning shit out of pig pens Monday through Friday. And then you're like, oh, wow, I missed the days when I had no idea what day of the week it was, because either I loved what I did or I had nothing to do or I had no responsibilities. So, again, it's just that untethered lifestyle that gives you the freedom to say, you know what, I have no idea what day of the week it is, and it doesn't matter. And I think that's something to chase for. That's something that I missed when I didn't have it, and that's something I'm very thankful now. Again, my situation is not because I have no responsibilities, but it's because I work every single day of the week damn near, and I love when I work. Right? I love what I do. I enjoy it. I some days I'm not exactly excited to go to work, but when I leave work, I'm always ecstatic. I always get kind of lost in it. And I'm never, not looking forward to a day. And trust me, guys, I've worked some of the worst fucking jobs in the world. Okay, I mentioned cleaning pig shit out of a pen. I've done that. I've worked on farms. I've worked as a restaurant the guy at the front desk, I don't even know what it's called, or the girl, generally girls, that escort people to their tables. Okay, I've worked every single job in the world. Okay, I know exactly what it's like to look forward to that Friday evening when you get home and relax, and that Saturday morning when you don't have responsibilities. I've worked in strength and conditioning where I had to wake up at 4 a.m. on a fucking Monday and close the building at 8 p.m. Okay, I know exactly what it's like to fucking hate your job and absolutely despise weekdays. Okay. And because of that, I'm very thankful for the life I live now, and I constantly try to talk about it. Share that. And I constantly think about it. Last weekend, after the podcast recording, I went to Starbucks. Okay, we're talking about, earlier this vegan, save the animals type of point of view, right? The unethicalness of testing on monkeys. And then these people that stand behind this and even take this perspective further and say, hey, we should not be eating or killing any types of animals. And a lot of these people, as a result, do not eat meat. Okay, we call them vegans, vegetarians. I'm not really sure what the difference is. Not too interested. Respect what you do, okay? I'm not trying to shit on your lifestyle or your philosophy on life. I disagree, but I mean, live however you want. It doesn't really matter. Okay? It doesn't really matter at all. Whatever works for you, family. Life's hard. But one of the food of choices for these groups of people is the Impossible Burger, or this new realm of lab-grown or lab-developed meat. Now, I realize these are good for the environment. They cut down on methane pollution for livestock. I realize they hold some ethical power because you're not killing animals to eat them. But this stuff, man, tastes like shit. That Impossible Burger I got it from Starbucks because it's the only thing on the menu, and I was hungry, and I was like, let's celebrate. Good week. Let's end it right. Nice little espresso, 3 shots of espresso and a nice coffee. And a croissant with an Impossible Burger, I guess. Here's the deal. We need to ramp up the research on this artificial meat because it's terrible. The standard beef burger is so far ahead, it is incredible. It is a blessing to the universe that beef tastes as good as it does for how cheap it is. Hamburger meat is unbelievable, guys. I eat this stuff religiously because 1, it's cheap, 2, nutrient dense, fats, proteins, and 3, it tastes so damn good. I could eat it plain for weeks. I have been pretty much. Generally, I put it with salads, avocados, and things like that, but it's incredible. The Impossible Burger tasted like a ball of mushy, it was disgusting. There was no texture. There was barely any flavor. Now, I don't know if it was the way that Starbucks presented this. Maybe it was a lazy craft, a lazy presentation, but this stuff is not it, family. Okay? It's not hearty. There's no it was so soft and mushy and does not even compare to a real beef burger. Not in the slightest. Okay, not in the slightest. And again, I've been in a spot in life where I did not eat food for taste whatsoever. I was on keto for a couple years to do a little nutritional exploration. And you bet your ass I didn't really care about the taste of my food ever. I would literally shovel heavy cream into my mouth through a 1 cup measuring device to get my fat quota in for the day. I didn't care. Okay, my point here is I'm not a very picky eater. But that ain't it, family. Okay, research needs to go on. And maybe one day we can go with some artificial burgers, but today ain't the day, guys. Today ain't the day. All right. As far as this week, personal life, guys, like I said, I've already mentioned it this week, last week, the week before. I don't want to sound like a broken record. Very thankful for the life I live in right now. The last meeting with my developers was probably one of the most incredible experiences of my life. 2 weeks ago, these developer meetings happen weekly. And each week, my development team, my UI design team, brings a more developed version of my app in regards to the look and the functionality. Essentially, they give me a interactive screen where I can tap through my app, right? I can click. Every single button is interactive. And essentially we're bringing the idea to life to the point where I can just take this once we're finished, this UI design, to a programmer and be like, this is exactly how the app is going to function. I just need you to code this. When they click this button, they go there just like this. This button looks like this. Okay? So it's essentially what we call a wireframe, or just the finished app without the code, right? It doesn't have any videos of the exercises yet. It doesn't have any of the cool feedback to that. It doesn't have any users. It's just a design, but a very interactive design. And each week, it becomes more accurate, what we call low, medium, and high fidelity. Right? High fidelity being essentially the finished design. 2 weeks ago, we talked about it. It was exciting. It was cool to see my project come to life. The idea that I've been working on in my room that started out as an idea after I quit my job. After I quit my job, I was like, you know what? I can change my industry. Here's the idea. I started with a blank piece of paper, grew it to an 130-page doc with code and logic. That turned into interested investors who were like, hey, this is a good idea. Very cool. Here's some money. See what you can do. Charity work. These were charity donations. I didn't have a product. I didn't have anything tangible. It was just a kid with an idea. But last week, guys, I sat down with my UI design team, and the product they gave to me, they showed me, damn near made me cry, guys. It was fucking beautiful. It was the highest quality app I've ever seen in my life. It looked better than Nike Training Club. It looked better than Freeletics. It is so intricate and so advanced at this point that I found myself wanting to be a child athlete again, wanting to be a high school athlete again so I could go back and use this. And at that moment, I felt better than I ever have in my life. It felt like I took the best drug that you could ever think of. Okay, and I've explored. So I've explored with chemicals that alter the human experience and intensify feelings. Okay, I know what some of those feel like. This was better than anything. Okay, it was incredible. I am so happy with the product so far, and it's not even finished yet, guys. I cannot explain to you that feeling. I will never forget that day. I will never forget leaving that meeting. And I cannot tell you how optimistic I am about this product. It is incredible. I believe, without a doubt, more than ever, that it will change the industry, the sports performance industry. I cannot wait to take this to big money guys and start talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars to this project, because I believe it is so realistic. If you saw this product, when you guys see this product, I believe you will be so damn impressed. I cannot explain to you how beautiful it is to have a development team that understands exactly what I need, to the point where they go outside of even my own ideas and create a product better than I thought was even possible with the information I gave. It has been a beautiful ride. It has been a beautiful ride. Okay. Yeah, I can't exemplify how much is enough. All I ask of you guys is that when this does finish, I'm going to have a massive campaign where I essentially just need people to sign up with their emails. And you guys will hear about that. It'll be at kleinstrength.com. I'll let you guys know. All I ask is that you share it to as many people as possible that could be interested. Families, athletes, coaches, anybody. They don't need to pay anything. Just have them put in their email on the website. Let me crank up these numbers. Because the more of you guys I can get to sign up, the more families, athletes, coaches I can get to sign up with their emails, the more leverage I have when I go to investors asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars when I say, hey, yeah, I need $100,000, but here's the deal. I have 10,000 people pre-ordered the app on the website. What does that mean? That means we can make $100,000 in the first month. In the best case scenario, obviously, this is reaching. But you guys get the point. Just that simple email sign up will help us out a bunch. So that's all I can ask of you guys. Keep that in mind when the product does get closer. Once the UI design finishes, I have a lot of work to do. Website landing page, email signups, flyers for cars in the city. everything, guys. Things are getting crazy. And I'm so happy with this product. It is one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life, if not the greatest. It's come a long way, guys. It's come a long way from an idea on a computer. It's come a long way from me talking on the podcast like, hey, I think I have an idea. I think there's an episode titled The $1 Million Idea. If the old adage is true and we have only one beautifully amazing idea in our lifetime, if we're good for one, this is mine, guys. Okay? And like I always say, it might not work. It's very possible. And I am putting all this work and this money into this project knowing very well that there is a chance that it does not go through. But there is no shot in hell that we don't try. This would be the biggest regret of my life if I didn't follow this through. So whatever we need to do, however far we need to drive, however long we need to stay awake, however much we need to sacrifice, we will do it to see this project to the end. Success, failure, wealth, poverty, whatever it might be, it's all worth it. This experience is giving me life more than anything I've ever done in my life. I'm very thankful for the ride. I'm very appreciative of the ride. And I'm very aware that at the end of this, I'm going to miss it. Every day is a blessing right now. We're very, very thankful for where we're at. Okay? If you guys have questions, thoughts, experiences, you want tips, I don't know. I'm not very successful yet, so I'm not really that guy that people want to bring on to talk about business. But I bet your ass one day I will be. Okay, you can count on that. Clip that. Okay? Once this project has success, or if it does, then I have a reputation to stand on to give people advice. But for now, we keep chasing, guys. We keep chasing. All right? So, I think we're going to end it there, guys. Beautiful episode. Beautiful evening. Beautiful life. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're on a high, enjoy it. If you're on a low, battle through. Peaks and valleys, friend. No one said this bad boy is going to be easy, but damn, we're fortunate to be here. All right. All right. That's it for this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. This is Hunter Klein, and you'll hear from me next week. Peace, peace.